progressives are going to use this scientific method to fix the problem. First, they have to observe it. They have to figure out what it is that they're actually going to be out there to fix, what it is that they're actually going to kind of observe and then expose and then actually fix when it comes to government corruption. And they're going to rely on a group of people called muckrakers. And what happens here is that part of the Industrial Revolution leads to all these mass-produced magazines and news journals and newspapers all over the country. And one of the things they're going to discover is that when you publish about scandal and corruption in government, you're going to sell a ton of newspapers. So what they're going to do is they're going to say, all right, get out there, reporters, be muckrakers, get out there and dig in the muck and find scandal, find problems that are out there in our country, in our government, write about them so the public gets angry about them, and then we get them fixed and we go on to find the next scandal and we find the next problem, and it's going to be awesome. And this is nothing new, folks. I mean, politicians had been under the gun from reporters writing about scandal for a long time, but what's different about it is the way in which muckrakers go about finding and publishing these problems. For example, Jacob Riis is one of the many who write books like How the Other Half Lives, which does focus on these social problems that are out there and publishes about them, but they use the camera in widespread ways never really thought of before for social commentary. Coming out of the Civil War and going into the Second Industrial Revolution, journalists realized the power of the picture to take people of different classes and force you to look at the conditions of others. So, for instance, when you see Jacob Riis talking about the incredible amounts of child orphanages or children that are homeless without anyone to care for them and no orphanages, and when he writes about this issue of drunkenness at an incredibly young age, then people are going to be moved by it because they can see it no matter where they live. They can see these kids on the poor. Riis called them his little street Arabs, this idea of creating kind of this exotic and almost pathetic existence of kids that are just helpless out here on the streets. And they write about things like crime. Here, for example, which is called Bandit's Roost, which is a back alley off Mulberry Street near Little Italy, I guess actually, which is now a part of Chinatown, this wide little section. But it's there off Mulberry Street, New York City, one of the most dangerous quarter miles in America, where you would walk down, with taking your life in peril, where people might be there to attack you, beat you, etc., mug you, all those kinds of things. So muckrakers are going to get out there, and they're going to be the ones that observe these problems so that our progressives, whether you're Republican or Democrat, can then fix those problems by proposing solutions to give people more control over government and over society.